Next. Equation yang ada dalam kimia sebenarnya ada berapa? Tiga. Sometimes you are asking to write the chemical equation, persamaan kimia. Sometimes you are asking to write the ion equation. Dan satu lagi ialah half equation. Persamaan setengah, persamaan ion dan persamaan kimia. Jadi pelajar-pelajar ataupun calon mereka akan keliru apa itu chemical equation, apa itu ionic equation. Apa beza antara tiga-tiga ini bagi tahu saya? Chemical equation ada ion?
No.
Ada elektron?
No.
Chemical equation semuanya neutral. Okay? Macam mana dengan ionic equation?
Ada ion.
Ada ion. Apa ion? Anion and
cation.
What is cation? Positive ion. What is half equation?
Ada elektron.
Mesti ada elektron. Elektron kadang-kadang ada di kiri. Kadang-kadang ada di kanan. Ada di kiri means what? Receive or release? Receive. Reduction. Okay? Kalau sebelah kanan? Oxidation. Release electron. Very good. So look at this question. This question asks you to write the ionic equation. Write the ionic equation. Tuliskan persamaan setengah. So ini melibatkan tindak balas antara dua larutan. Apa dia? Lead 2 nitrate and also potassium iodide. Kalium iodida dan plumbum 2 nitrate. Plumbum 2 nitrat. Jadi kita akan dapat plumbum 2 iodida dan satu lagi sampingan. Apa dia? Apa dia sampingan tu?
Nitrogen, potassium nitrate.
Potassium nitrate. Okay. Jadi cikgu nak persamaan ion. Okay. Cuba kamu write persamaan ion tu. Okay. Cikgu bagikan 1 minit. PB 2 plus.
Plus K. K plus.
Yeah.
Equals to PBI2.
Yes. You don't have, you can write in the whiteboard also. Okay. Okay, kalau dah siap tunjukkan saya. Okay, very good Insyira. Okay. Betul lah jawapannya. PB2 plus plus
2I
I minus. Alright. Okay, show me your answer, Niva. And okay, very good. Okay, apakah nama persamaan ni? Ionic equation, persamaan ion. Jadi itulah jawapannya. See ya. Jadi cara nak jawab soalan ni ada dua cara. Satu ialah kamu write the chemical equation first. Lepas tu nyatakan semua free moving ion. So free moving ion girls only exist in the aqueous solution. Jadi kedua-dua larutan ini aqueous. The first and the second one is aqueous. Jadi dia ada free moving ion. Tetapi lead 2 ion dia ialah solid. So this is solid. Okay, this is solid. Jadi solid ada free moving ion tak? No. Jadi you kena kekalkan. Lepas tu you eliminate or remove or cancelize all the ion that present at the left and the right hand side. Maknanya dia tak terlibat dalam tindak balas. What we call them? Spectator ion ataupun ion penonton, watching ion. Okay? Jadi tinggal hanya PB2 plus and I2 minus. Jadi bagi saya cara yang lagi senang untuk menuliskan ionic equation is you just ask yourself, okay, what is the precipitate form? The precipitate form is PbI2. So PbI2 this is formation from two ions. What ion that form? Pb2 plus ion and the I minus. After that you balance equation. How many I here? 2. So you put 2 in front. Okay, balance some more and then balance the charge. 2 plus plus 2 minus means that no charge. Here also no charge. So this is the balance equation. You got it?
Yes.
Okay, next. Okay. Common word yang seterusnya ialah write the half equation. Ini yang samalah. So what's the half equation for this? This is electrolysis. Tuliskan persamaan setengah di anode and cathode semasa electrolysis larutan kalium sulfat. Okay. So, okay, wait now. So just tell me what is the potassium nitrate ion that formed in the potassium nitrate ion? Potassium nitrate. How many ion that present in this solution?
4.
4 or 2?
4.
Okay, what ion is it?
K plus
K plus
NO3
NO3 minus
H plus.
H plus,
OH minus.
OH minus. So this is cation. Where did it go? Where they go? Go to anode or cathode?
Anode.
This is cation or anion?
Cathode. It goes to
This is cation, right?
Yes.
Cation will go to
Anode.
cathode.
cathode or anode?
Cathode.
Cathode will attract the cation. Anode will attract the anion. So K plus and H plus will go to the cathode. Okay, cathode. And then anion will go to the anode. And then which ion will be discharged? Will selected for discharge. It depends on what? Inert value or concentration or
the type of
type of electrode. Tapi yang ini adakah dia kata type of electrode? No, they are using the carbon electrode. Ada the concentration? No, because there's no Cl minus, I minus and Bi minus. And then they are not saying that that is concentrated. Maknanya dia diluted. Jadi kita tengok inert value. So what's the inert value for this bowl? Okay, jadi kita tengok. Kalau cathode, dia kena tengok inert value yang lebih positif. So for this hydrogen and potassium, inert value for H plus is more positive. Alright. Jadi H plus will be discharged. So how to get the half equation? H plus plus E to get H2, and then this one must put 2. So what we get? Hydrogen gas. And then for the anode, which ion we've selected for discharge? OH minus. Why OH minus? Because the inert value is more negative. It is more negative. Dengan itu, kita akan dapat half equation this one. Okay? Dan cikgu ajar kamu apa dia? 4 orang utan masuk hutan bawa 1 tangki oksigen, 2 tangki air, 4 apple. This one. Jadi, this is a famous half equation in electrolysis. So, what product you get? Oxygen gas. What is the observation? Colorless gas bubble. Okay, and then here also same. What your observation you get? Hydrogen observation? Colorless gas bubble also. So, this is the half equation in the electrolysis. So, electrolysis biasanya dia akan minta kamu buat half equation. Cathode and anode. Okay, seterusnya tentang penyelesaian masalah, calculation. So, calculation biasanya cikgu kata, sebarang calculation kita start dengan pengiraan apa?
Mole.
Calculation of the mole. So, you calculate the mole and then the following one, you will get the answer. Jadi, biasanya cikgu ajar kamu apa? Merah. Apa tu M? Mole. Apa tu? M. M is mole. Okay, apa tu? E? Equation. R? Ratio. After that? Answer. So follow these steps of calculation. So for example, this question, 2.3 gram of the sodium react with the excess oxygen. Okay, calculate the mass of the sodium oxide. Jadi yang ini kita nak kira apa tu? Step 1? Mole. Okay, macam mana nak kira mole?
2.3.
Okay. 2.3 over 23. So you get the mole. 0.1. Okay, that is the step 1, mole. Okay, and then tell me the step 2. What's that? Write the equation. Write me the equation. Okay. Sodium plus oxygen. Oxygen to get Na2O. Okay, balance the equation. Have you balanced? Okay. So what's the ratio? Very good, Nisha. Okay. Nisha, sodium oxide? Correct or not? Formula. Okay. Do you get the correct ratio? Correct ratio? Show me your answer. Yeah. Di mana salah?
4.
Yes. Now you get correct. Yeah, very good. So this is the answer. Okay, show me your answer again, Leka. 4 mole of nitrogen need to react with 1 mole oxygen to form 2 mole of sodium oxide. Okay. Jadi ini ialah equation. And then now, you get the ratio. The ratio is what you calculate to what you want to calculate. Okay? So, what you calculate is sodium. And then what you are going to calculate is sodium oxide. Jadi, the ratio is 4 to 1. 4 to 2. Maknanya 2 ratio 1 lah. Jadi, kalau kita kira 0.1, what is the mole for the oxygen, for the sodium oxide? Bahagi dengan 2. Jadi, bahagi 2 kamu dapat apa? 0.05. Jadi, jawapannya ialah more time, the mass, and then you get the mass. So unit mesti ditunjukkan. Okay? Jadi itulah step dia. Kita dapatkan R, kita dapatkan answer. Boleh faham?
Yes.
Okay. Jadi ini untuk bahasa Melayu. Alright, the same thing. Okay, ini soalan yang lebih hebat. Okay? Cuba baca soalan ni. 0.3 gram magnesium ditambahkan kepada 20 cm3 asid hidroklorik 1.0 mol per cm3. Kirakan isi padu gas yang terbebas. Jadi cara yang sama. What you need to do first?
Calculate the mole.
Calculation of the mole. Tapi di sini ada satu masalah. Apa masalahnya? You will query. Why two info is given to you?
Yeah.
Satu ialah mass. And then this one is V and M is given. Jadi kita boleh kira mole dari dua cara. Jadi mana satu mole kamu nak ambil?
Hydrochloric.
Hydrochloric ataupun magnesium?
Hydrochloric.
How you know it's hydrochloric?
Because they give both B and M.
And then mass also given, isn't it?
Yeah.
So mana satu you nak gunakan?
Maybe we
Insyirah.
should do two.
Ya,
and then
we should do
compare.
two. Maknanya kamu kena kira dua-dua.
Yeah.
Magnesium kamu kena kira. And then mole untuk acid you kena kira. After that we do compare. Compare about what? Compare. Ya, limiting factor. Mana satu yang kurang. Okay, ingat tak cikgu selalu bagi kamu satu contoh. 1 kilo kentang, 1 kilo tepung nak hasilkan 100 kali lipat. Okay, kalau saya gunakan 2 kilo kentang, 1 kilo tepung, okay, boleh saya dapat 200 kali lipat? No. Kalau nak dapat 200 macam mana? 2 dan 2. 2 kilo dan 2 kilo. Kalau saya gunakan 1 kilo apa? Kentang, 2 kilo tepung, maknanya mana satu ialah limiting factor? Kentang 1 kilo. Jadi berapa banyak biji kali lipat you akan hasilkan? 100. Jadi maknanya bilangan kali lipat bergantung kepada kentang. Kuantiti kentang tu. Jadi ini pun sama. Kamu kena tahu mana satu limiting factor. Mana satu limiting factor. Jadi kamu kirakan mole lah untuk magnesium. Jadi berapa mole untuk magnesium? Kirakan. Okay, just now we forget the question. Okay, 0.3 over 24. What you get?
0.0125.
Ya, 0.0125. You get 0.0125. Lepas tu, bilangan mole untuk hydrochloric?
0.002.
Ya, 0.02. You get it? Okay, sekarang kamu bandingkan. Mana satu ialah limiting factor? Okay, kita kena tuliskan apa? Kita kena tuliskan apa?
Equation.
Equation dulu. Okay, jadi kamu tuliskan equation. Kamu dapat macam ni kan?
Yeah.
Equation. Jadi kalau saya ada magnesium 1 mol, saya perlukan asid 2 mol dan saya akan hasilkan ini 1 mol dan 1 mol. Jadi sekarang katakan saya ada 0.0125 mol untuk magnesium. Actually, how many mol of the HCl I need? 0. Kalau saya ada magnesium 0.0125. Ya, saya akan perlukan 0.025. Right? Tetapi apa yang kita dapat tu hanya 0.02. Jadi cukup tak? Tak cukup. Jadi siapa ialah limiting factor?
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric is the limiting factor. Dengan itu, isi padu gas kita mesti bergantung kepada acid hydrochloric. So you must base on this mole. So nanti ratio, kamu nak ratio apa dengan apa? HCl ataupun magnesium? HCl dengan H2. H2 lah. You got it? Can I ratio magnesium to the H2? Cannot. Because magnesium is in excess. You got it? Okay. This is what teacher want to tell you. Alright? Jadi ini equation. Maka ratio dia ialah HCl to H2. Jadi sepatutnya 0.02 ratio 0.01. You got it?
Yeah.
And then what's the answer? The answer is volume equal to mass, volume equal to mole time, volume, molar volume. Molar volume is what? 24. And then you get the answer in DMQ. Any question to ask me about this question? About the answer? Yeah.
So does it always have to be in CMQ or can it just be in DMQ?
Oh, here. Okay. Okay. Adakah perlu kamu tukarkan dia kepada CMQ? Sebenarnya tak perlu. Kenapa tak perlu? Sebab soalan tak minta. So you can kekalkan untuk DMQ Ataupun you nak tukar kepada CMQ. By my advice is, no need to change. But when you change it carelessly, then you get the wrong answer. Jadi markah yang ketiga akan hilang lah. Boleh faham?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. Okay. So, there's the first mark, second mark, third mark, number 4, number 5. Okay, you cannot see clearly ya sebab warna itu tak jelas. Jadi markah ini adalah 5 markah. Soalan ini memang adalah soalan, 6 markah.
Yes.
6 markah. Jadi 6 markah ini memang dalam soalan essay. So how much you spend to do this question? Actually less than 10 minutes, right? So 10 minutes dapat 6 markah. Untung tak? Sangat untung. Jadi calculation memang sangat senang. Okay? So terusnya untuk soalan Daniell cell. So Daniell cell is a chemical cell or electrolytic cell? Good. Chemical cell. Why chemical cell? No battery, no power source is given. Okay? So what is the energy change for chemical cell?
energy to electrical energy.
Very good. Chemical to electrical
Electrical
energy
energy.
means that you can generate electric from this chemical cell. Alright? So you are given zinc, and also copper. So, and then you also given the Enoch value. So means that from the Enoch value, you will know which is negative terminal and which is positive terminal. Can you tell me which is negative terminal? Mana satu negatif?
Zinc is negative
Zinc
terminal.
ialah negative terminal. Jadi kamu labelkanlah ini negative terminal. Negative terminal is anode or cathode?
Anode.
Anode in chemical cell. Jadi dengan itu positive terminal ini ialah
Cathode.
cathode. Cathode dalam bahasa Melayu ialah K-A-T-O-D. Okay, cathode. Jadi dengan itu kita tahu anode ialah undergoes proses apa? Anode is the
Oxidation.
terminal, terminal that undergoes
Oxidation.
oxidation. Jadi apa berlaku pada zinc ini? Zinc will release electron to form zinc ion. Zinc ion ialah apa? Zn to plus, and then plus 2e. So what we call this process? Oxidation. Okay. And how about the reduction at the cathode here? Siapa terima elektron? Elektron tu dia akan main daripada kiri ke kanan. Anode to cathode. Okay. So electron will receive by who? Cu2 plus. Where does Cu2 plus come from? In the solution. And then how many electron will receive? 2 electron to form
Copper.
copper. So what observation you can get from here?
Brown solid deposited.
Copper electron become thicker. Ini jadi gemuk. Become thicker. Ataupun you can say brown solid deposit. And then what happened to the zinc here?
Zinc becomes thinner.
Become thinner. Become thinner. Or it will dissolve. Alright? So, soalannya, dia tak tanya ini semua. Dia tanya apa? Write the?
Cell notation.
Yes, write the cell notation. So, cell notation, kita mesti mula dengan apa?
Anode.
Anode. A, B, dan C. A, B, C. So, A is anode, B is bridge, and then C is the cathode. So, A maksudnya oxidation. Mula-mula daripada zinc. Akhirnya tukar kepada zinc ion. Just now you write, isn't it? Just now. Is it?
Yes.
Zinc to the zinc ion. And then copper ion to the copper. So, cell notation is the same. Zinc to the zinc ion. And then copper to the copper. Copper solid. And then, adakah penting kamu nyatakan semua physical state?
Yes.
Very important. Write the physical state. Jadi physical state kalau kamu buat salah, contohnya aqueous kamu write liquid. Salah. So aqueous dengan liquid apa beza? Aqueous is the
Direct.
liquid that contain water.
Water.
Mesti ada air, solution. So aqueous dengan solution samalah. Okay? So aqueous, don't write liquid for me. Okay? Jadi itulah jawapannya. Okay? And then copper must be solid lah. Ataupun in Malay is pepeja, P. You got it? Yes.
So what if I put only one line for the bridge?
Means that the bridge is one line.
Yes.
I cannot. The symbol is double line. So you must write double line. So the line, one line is for the oxidation process or reduction process only. Okay?
And then the solid aqueous must write.
Solid aqueous must write. Just now teacher told you. Okay? That is what physical state. So you must write this one. Okay?
Teacher, what if the electrode is using another electrode?
Okay. If you are using another electrode, for example, Ki. Ki is solution. So you cannot put Ki here. you can only put I minus and then I2 here. So here they will give you an electrode. So the electrode is, for example, platinum. So you write here lah, platinum, PT here. Okay, after that,
Okay.
after that slash, lepas tu I minus, comma,
Oh.
I2 like that. Okay, so kalau dia ada platinum digunakan ataupun any other types of electrode using. Understand?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, calculation of the cell notation, E0 value. So how to calculate? Teacher tahu?
Minus anode.
Cathode minus
Anode.
anode. Ataupun kalau you lupa formula, kita gunakan yang nilai besar tolak
Nilai
yang kecil. Jadi itulah jawapan. Ini ialah formula. You can show the formula or you no need to show the formula, you just replace with the figures. Okay also. Yang besar tolak yang kecil. Yang besar tolak kecil. And the last answer teacher tell you, it must be what sign? Positive. Kalau tiba-tiba you dapat negative sign, jawapan itu mesti salah. Cari yang besar tolak yang kecil. And then don't forget the what? Unit. What's the unit? Voltage. This is V. Jangan lupa. Unit mesti ada dalam kimia. Jawapan akhir kalau tak ada unit, you lost the last mark. Okay? Next. Okay, ini untuk drawing of the apparatus, set apparatus. Cikgu kata nak draw the apparatus, you must follow two condition. What's that? Dapat dua markah macam mana? Nak dapat label and then functional like diagram, isn't it? Okay, kamu tengok soalan ni ya. Okay, soalan ni cikgu nak lukiskan tentang apa? Diagram for dehydration of ethanol. Dehydration of ethanol, we need what? Cotton wool, porcelain chips, sama? What we call that? The boiling tube and also the retorts stand, isn't it? Jadi setiap satu kamu kena lukis. You see? Kalau retorts stand, actually you no need to draw for the whole lah sebab dia ambil masa. Retorts stand how to draw actually to save the time. Just put the hook here, the cork here. You see? You buat macam ni sudah dapat markah. And then girls, make sure. Biasanya pelajar akan buat salah di mana? Dia akan buat salah di bahagian label. Bahagian label. Contohnya, glass wool dia tak label. Dia just put ethanol. That's wrong. Sebab ethanol dia tak akan bentuk macam ni. Ethanol it is liquid. You cannot draw. Alright? So dia mesti ada glass wool deep with the ethanol. Okay? Lepas tu, dia akan lupa label di bahagian heat. Dia buat arrow saja. But without the heat. So arrow ada banyak maksud. Not necessary arrow is heat. So you must label the heat. Okay? And then, dia akan lupa label water. Dash line means solution. It not necessary is water. So any solution in chemistry you must put with the dash line. Tak kira lah kamu buat apa larutan pun. Dia mesti ada dash line. Kalau pepeja you boleh buat slash macam ni. You can do the slash like this. For example, this one you can put like this. Also can. Alright? Okay. Lepas tu untuk cork. Cork pun you kena slash macam ni. Okay? That is shading. Okay? Dan itu untuk label. Label mesti ada semua chemical yang digunakan mesti dilabelkan. That is labeling. Kedua, kita mesti buat functional. Functional diagram means this one. Okay, for example, okay, this one. Pelajar buat salah. Candidate always do this wrongly. Kenapa? Sebab cork dia insert fully into the boiling tube. Itu salah. Kenapa tak boleh buat insert hole into the boiling tube? Contohnya pelajar dia akan buat macam ni ya, the calon-calon. Dia akan insert everything into the boiling tube like this. Jadi ini maksudnya tidak functional, tidak berfungsi. Kenapa? Sebab dia tak ketat. Maknanya gas akan terbebas. Kalau gas terbebas, bolehkah kamu kumpulkan gas di sini dengan banyak? And then your experiment fail. Tadi maknanya functional diagram tu tak ada. Maknanya kamu tak akan dapat hasil. That is why here very important. Kalau nampak saja dia macam ni, terus hilang satu markah. Functional mark tak ada. Okay? Yang kedua ialah pelajar akan buat silap di bahagian ni. You see the derivative?
Yes.
Ada orang dia buat tak masuk sampai dalam. Kalau tak masuk sampai dalam, macam mana dia nak kumpulkan gas? Betul tak? Jadi salah. Ataupun dia akan buat macam ni. Dia akan buat telajak ni. Tube ini dia akan buat sampai tinggi-tinggi. Melebihi paras air ni. Kita nampak ni paras air. Kalau you buat melebihi paras air, I tell you cannot collect the gas also. You cannot collect the gas also. Tak akan terjadi.
Why teacher?
Because dia kena dibawa. Ini ialah hukum dalam fizik lah yang kamu belajar. Kan? Hukum apa tu?
Gas.
Saya pun tak tahu ya. Okay, jadi maknanya di sini dia mesti pasti di bawah paras air tapi masuk sampai ke dalam test tube inilah. You got it? So this is the functional diagram. Boleh faham?
Yes.
Jadi ingat. Dan satu lagi ialah pelajar selalu tak buat kaki retot. Dia lupa kaki retot. Kalau tak ada kaki retot, do you think that this bowling tube can be hang in the air?
No.
Mesti ada hantu pegang. Kan? Di sini pun sama. Di sini pun kena ada retot stand. Tapi ya, untuk SPM, kadang-kadang di sini dia tak tekankan. Tapi di sini mesti ada. Kadang-kadang kalau dia sangat ketat, dua-dua dia nak minta. Jadi, you learn for the correct one. Both also you must draw for the support. For the support.